Have you ever wondered if Allah was trying to show you someone, but your heart couldn't fully recognize it? Not because you're blind, but because you're scared to look? There's this person. They don't force their way into your life. They don't try to grab your attention with loud declarations or dramatic moves. And yet they're there, consistently, gently, quietly. You think you've moved on, but they return softly and persistently in your thoughts, in your duas, sometimes even in your dreams. It's not just memory. It's not obsession. It's presence. And maybe it's more than just you. Maybe it's Allah who keeps bringing this person back, not to distract you, but to align you, to guide you toward what He has already written for you. In this video, we won't list verses or narrate ancient stories. We're going to explore signs, subtle, quiet, spiritual signs, feelings that speak, silences that reveal, and inner shifts that don't shout but transform. So stay with me until the end, because if your heart has been in question lately, this might be the answer it was seeking. One, why does this person keep returning to your mind? Some names stay. Some faces just don't fade. Time passes, life changes, and yet there they are. Again and again, you've made your duas with sincerity. You've told Allah, Ya Rab, guide me. Detach me from what's not meant for me. Let me not be misguided by my desires. And still, this person lingers, not in a loud or toxic way, not like a storm, but like a breeze, a moment, a memory, a presence. You didn't ask for it. You didn't seek it. But here they are again. A name that passes through your heart without permission. A feeling you can't erase. You're left wondering, is this ego? Is this my soul? Is it a whisper of my nafs? Or is it a sign? You've tried to move on. You've turned the page. But some pages reopen without force. Some names stay alive, not because you want them to, but because they are tied to something deeper. Here's something most people won't tell you. Allah doesn't need to speak in thunder. He doesn't need to send lightning bolts. Sometimes, His answer is a quiet feeling, a persistent memory, a connection that remains. He plants it and lets it grow silently. It's not obsession. It's not a trap. Sometimes it's a trace of light, a direction your soul wants to walk, but your mind is too afraid to explore. When Allah wants to cleanse your heart, He sends discomfort. When He wants to guide you, He gives you peace. Even amid uncertainty, even when you can't explain it logically. And that's the key. Ask yourself, when you think of this person in a pure and sincere way, without ego, without fantasy, do you feel peace? Not excitement, not longing. Peace, that stillness. That might be your first sign. Point 2. Maybe it's not a test. Maybe it's an invitation. Most of us confuse peace with temptation. We think anything that feels good must be a test. But what if this time it's not a trial, it's an invitation? What if Allah is guiding you toward someone not to possess, but to grow through? Not to escape into, but to align with? Maybe this person keeps returning not to distract you from your purpose, but to lead you deeper into it. Perhaps they remind you of a better version of yourself, the one who seeks Allah more sincerely, who makes more intentional duas, who yearns not for worldly love, but for a love that brings you closer to Him. Maybe you're not meant to have this person in the way you think. Maybe you're meant to see something through them, about yourself, about what you truly need. Sometimes Allah brings a person into your heart, not as a destination, but as a mirror, so that you see where you're wounded, where you need to grow, where your faith still needs strengthening. 3. Yasmin's story. When a name won't leave, let me tell you about Yasmin. She wasn't 19 or 22 anymore. She was 27. In between hope and heartbreak. In between faith and fear. She had prayed for marriage, prayed sincerely. Not for appearances, not for approval, but for real companionship. Then came a brother. No harem, no flirting, just respectful discussions. Exchanges about Dean, a gentle character. A sincere presence, nothing official, nothing promised. But there was something. Still, Yasmin cut off contact. Not because he hurt her, not because of drama, but out of fear, out of precaution, out of an intense desire to do things right. She disappeared thinking this was Taqwa, that if he was written, he would come back. And if not, she would forget. But her heart didn't forget. She would open books and recall things he said. She'd hear reminders and hear his voice. She'd pray and find his name floating across her heart like a feather. Quiet, undeniable. She began to question herself. Am I weak? Am I obsessed? But deep down, she knew it wasn't addiction. It wasn't fantasy. It was a presence that wouldn't leave. And one night, alone, weeping in sujud, she said, Ya Allah, if he's from you, show me gently. If he's not, remove him softly from my heart. No dream came, no message, no miracle. But something did change. She felt peace, profound, quiet peace. A silence inside that didn't scream, but soothed. That calm never left her. And maybe that was her answer. 4. When calm is the answer you've been ignoring, we look for signs and noise. We want drama. We want fireworks. We want the moment. But Allah often works differently. Sometimes, His greatest signs aren't events, but states of the heart. When you think of this person, does your heart settle? Not race, not ache, subtle. Not every connection is meant to be fiery. Some are meant to be cooling, healing, anchoring. You've confused intensity with truth before. You've called chaos love. You've called fear excitement. You've mistaken adrenaline for attachment. But now, something different. This presence doesn't burn. It doesn't demand. It doesn't confuse. It just rests, silently, sincerely. That silence might just be sacred. 5. What if you're running from the oasis? Imagine walking through a desert, alone, lost. You don't even remember what you're looking for. Just walking out of habit, out of pain. And then an oasis. Real, calm, still, water, shade, peace. You hesitate? Is this real? You've seen too many illusions. You've trusted the wrong mirages before, and so you almost walk away. But what if this time, it's not an illusion? What if the calm you feel is real? Because this is what Allah has written for you. Not something perfect, not something loud, but something aligned, something true. Maybe the test isn't whether they're good enough. Maybe the test is whether you are healed enough to receive. What is finally good? 6. What if it's all just a test? Yes, that thought lingers. What if I'm wrong again? What if this is another trick of the ego? Those are valid questions, sincere fears. But ask yourself, does this presence pull you away from Allah or closer to Him? Does it encourage growth or dependency? Not all tests are wrapped in pain. Some come dressed in clarity. Some look like peace. But they test your ability to trust it. To trust that Allah can gift you something good without making you suffer first. Sometimes the illusion isn't in the connection. It's in your belief that you're not worthy of something real. Look at how you feel, how you behave. Do you become better, calmer, more sincere? Then maybe, just maybe, this isn't deception. It's divine alignment. Conclusion. The true sign is in you if you want to know if it's real. Don't look outside. Look within. Does this person make you better in private? Do they elevate your du'as, your goals, your patience, your faith? Do they push you to seek Allah more, not less? If yes, then maybe it's not obsession. Maybe it's a gift. And if you still fear, that's okay. Because sincere love often begins with trembling. If this message touched your heart, it's not by accident. Maybe today, this is your answer. So pause, breathe, reflect. Ask Allah with clarity. Ya Allah, if this person is for me, open the path with light. Purify my heart, my intentions, and make it easy. And if they are not, remove them from my heart without pain. And remember, sometimes the most powerful answers don't come in voices. They come in peace. Subscribe for more content that speaks directly to your heart and soul. Because here, we don't just tell stories. We remind you who you truly are when Allah guides your path back to Him.